You're tuned in to Hump Holiday Wednesdays on Quiet Time Radio.
Okay, y'all. We got a special guest caller on the line. Now, let me bring you up to speed in case you just tuning in. Our topic today is the causes and the effects of the independent woman. Now, we basically kind of covered the role of a man. You know, Doug Blaze, he let us know from his perspective, and really what I believe is the perspective, that, you know, a man it's our job to go out here and provide for the family. So I kind of interjected and said that, you know, during some time ago, we really didn't, as a society, give the stay-at-home mom the credit for the job. I mean, keeping up with kids all day, cooking, cleaning, holding the house, it's a lot. So we ain't gonna take no more time. On the line, I got Miss Sabrina Skeete, the host of The Unmitigated Gall. You can tune in Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. on theunmitigatedgall.com. You can also get there from the liveset.tv. And I kind of want her to give us, you know, some input on this topic today for the causes and the effects of the independent woman from a woman's perspective. Sabrina, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I guess I would need some clarity on the understanding of what is an independent woman.
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, my grandmother was not categorized as an independent woman. My mother didn't use that term. I don't use that term. So it's a new term that's being used, and I think it's being abused.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's a such thing as an independent woman, because if you have an independent woman, you will also have an independent man, and that makes no sense.
Exactly.
Wow. That right there is that's some food for your mind, right there, for everybody that's listening. That is so true. And if, you know, the creator, God intended each one of us to depend on the next person. This does not mean that you don't hold up your part. Everybody has a role to play, and people have got displaced. They don't know where they belong no more. They just winging it, you know, and it's getting really off the chain. Yeah. And you know, the kids are looking at this, and it's kind of like everybody is functioning out of role and out of character. So,
yes.
How do you win, you know, in a situation like that would be my question. How do you win when you have a team? Because man and woman is a team.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
It's a team. And how do you win if I'm trying to do everybody's job, or, you know, you're trying to do my part, you know, even though you help out, you know, you complement one another. But it's like the lines have been blurred.
It's all about communication at the end of the day. It's like a table. You have a table right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, wifey comes to the table, husband comes to the table, whoever's in the household comes to the table,
right?
You know, excluding the children or what have you. And what do you bring to the table to make that household a stronger household? You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just all about communication, meeting of the minds, understanding each other's roles and responsibilities within that team. Going back to what you said, team.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and like Sabrina said, and she's still on the line. Sabrina Skeete, host of the Unmitigated Gall, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can tune into the show on the unmitigatedgall.com, and you can also get to the show by the liveset.tv. I think this, like you said, Sabrina, this whole independent woman thing has kind of went a little bit too far, and the truth of the matter is, I mean, we were made to codepend on one another. Now, I'm not speaking of, ladies, now listen up. I need you to listen. I'm not speaking of the women who have been in a situation or relationship with somebody, things didn't work out, and you kind of had to do what you had to do, you know.
And you want to know why? It's really because my mother was a single mother because my father died. Mm-hmm. And she raised 5 girls. Wow. And again, she she still didn't use the term, I'm an independent woman. So, and we went through the struggle. So, the cause for that term, to me, is the cause of a divide.
Exactly.
The purpose of it is to cause the divide.
Well said, yes.
The effect of it is a lot of single women households, single parent households. That's the effect from that mindset.
Right. And people don't realize something as simple as, listen, this world was spoke into existence. Your tongue and what you say is so important. Something
goodness,
simple as terminology. You understand? How you categorize things. Because
how you label.
Yes,
that's
how you label things is so important. And you cannot take that for granted, because if you label something and you put it in an improper place, when it's time for something to function properly, it's going to be dysfunctional. And that's what's happening. Go ahead, Sabrina.
And we can't function as a community, as a people, like that, because that is only set up for one gender.
Right.
And that's the female.
Oh, yes. And we're definitely gonna get to that. I got my man Jolley, he's in the building. And Jay, can you give us a little input? You did a little research on how the government, basically you get more benefits being separate than you get when you're together. That is it's a problem. So I'm gonna let Jay kind of give us. Yeah, it's crazy.
Even filing taxes. So
Jay, go ahead and give us just some of the history of stuff that you found. This is Jay Jolley, aka Mr. Spotlight, that's in the studio with us today, and he's gonna chime in and give us just a little bit of the information that he found on this matter.
Okay, sure, no problem, David. Yeah, the problem began back in 1965. When President Lyndon Johnson launched his war on poverty. That's where the problem began. The social programs and things that were launched back then, these social programs were actually designed to destroy, the African American and the minority community.
Wow.
Basically the divorce rates and things like that since this war on poverty was launched have tripled. The amount of children born out of wedlock, that number has steadily climbed. However, the so-called war on poverty, back then when this initiative was launched was 18%. Okay, wow. So nearly 50 years later, $13 trillion later,
wow.
That figure is now 15% of people still living in poverty. And so you go back to the beginning of the show when we spoke about the role of the man, okay, and I really didn't chime in on that at that point in time, but in my opinion, the role of the man is to be the foundation of the family, and just like any structure, a house, if you don't have the proper foundation, it won't hold together. And so if you look at our race overall, and with these different type of programs, and there's other government programs and things that have came in place that have failed us as a race, and that has led to this so-called term. And you can go on and on to things like the war on drugs. Have taken so many brothers, off the street, out of the household. And it's put the ladies in position, to where they're having to attempt, to play both roles.
So if you look at it, and I'm sure Sabrina would agree with this, you start kind of putting the pieces together of the whole by design idea. Okay, we're gonna give you an improper label, which is the quote unquote independent woman. And ladies, listen, this is to take nothing away from what you're doing, and the man being irresponsible and having to put women in different positions. We're not talking about someone who didn't have to make a choice. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about people choosing to label them and have a mentality that you don't need anyone. That's not true. I can't Hump Holiday Wednesdays, we got people that love you or care about you, will deliver you the truth. So this is not what I'm saying, this situation is kind of it is what it is. So it's interesting conversation today. I'm learning from everybody that's calling in and giving us their input on this thing, man. This is really something. So right now you're tuned in to Hump Holiday Wednesdays right here on QuietTimeRadio.com. Make sure you keep it locked right here on your favorite R&B station.
QuietTimeRadio.com brings you the best of smooth R&B 24/7, and we've got the listeners to prove it.
Hey, this is Alex from Miami, Florida. Hey, this is Ashley from Portland, Oregon. This is your girl Liz from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. This is Diana from Falls, Idaho. This is your girl Malaysia calling from Detroit.
Blazing absolutely nothing but the best R&B, including classic, 90s, and now.
Softening the waves of North America and international. Quiet Time.